Hey people, it's been a while since I got the Yamaha out.
And we're in the heat of the summer, so there's less rides happening nowadays. These days I would normally ride the xs650. But like I say, got to make a little trip here. May as well get this thing out. Somewhere between 2 and 4 months since I've ridden this. 81 special motor, but it's got the window where you can check your oil. I like that. Gee, it looks like the oil's low. It's at the very bottom. The very bottom of the window. We'll have to add some. We're using GTX 1040 on it. I see I never shut the gas off last time I brought it home. No big deal. The motor's kind of greasy, oily anyway. I've been purchasing a few things to go fixing stuff up, but I haven't fixed it up yet. I got some foot peg rubbers. I got some brand new air cleaners. That's what I was getting at right at first is when I put this 83 in, it had brand new air cleaners in. And hell, I've never even checked them. I haven't even messed with them since I put them in. They were OEM air cleaners, brand new. I figure they may even be dilapidated slightly. So I just bought new ones to put in. I'm going to go ahead and dial this bike up a little bit here in the near future. No hurry. I got foot peg rubbers. I got air cleaners. The other aspect of it's when I put this motor in, I put on these mufflers. Because I've, over the years, gone through 3 sets of mufflers. They just get old and rust out. OEM mufflers. When I put them in, I put in a brand new packing. You know, they don't come with any packing. And they sound pretty good, but I'm sure all that packing's blown out, and it changes your carburation characteristics. And so when you back off the throttle and there's that decompression going on, I get a lot of pops and stuff. So I need to do something about the mufflers. I might get brand new mufflers, or I might try to repack them. So I think that they're empty. But anyway, you know, I need to detail the bike out. It's been probably 15 years since I did all that stuff to it and dialed it in. And I want to, you know, take the seat and tank and all that junk off and detail everything out, you know, so it's cleaned up from oil, and take care of the mufflers. It says 30,000 miles on it, but I've gone 130. This is my 5th speedometer. I've had the needle freeze up. I've had the internals freeze up. I've had the needle come off. I've lost 4 speedometers and 3 tachometers. Need to make a little trip here, and we'll do that now. We're on reserve, so I don't know how much gas is in. I should probably go get some gas while I'm out. But you know, this has got like brake fluid on it, and it's all dirty down here. So I want to go through and touch everything, clean it up. I don't think I've ever put new brake pads on, so probably one thing I should look at. It doesn't have the original brake pads it came with, but I don't recall that I've ever put brand new ones in. I scored a bike for 50 bucks, 77. I scored a 78 for 450. I paid 1,500 for a 81 special. I can't remember the other ones right off the bat here. But anyway, those donor bikes have what has been what's kept this going, and I'm you know, fairly original here with everything. I did remove the bulbous or OEM taillight and put a Bates taillight on the 83 rear fender. And I put that on because I kind of wanted to shorten up the tail end a bit. You see, the special rear fenders are approximately an inch shorter than a standard rear fender. So it gives it kind of a look. So here's the taillight I was talking about. The fender mounts in the standard position, but it's about 1 inch shorter. And with the Bates taillight, I think it gives it kind of a tidy look instead of the bulbous original OEM taillight assembly. Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of gas in there. $6 of gas at $5.07.9 per gallon gives me 8.181 gallons. Hear the popping? I hate that. I got to do something about that. So I'm going to want to check the air cleaners and replace them as needed. Clean the bike up. What else did I want to do? Check the brake pads. I'd like to repack the mufflers. And I got a foot peg that needs to be replaced. You know, I don't do a whole lot of city riding if I can help it because of overpopulation. So many goons out there. You don't really ride around the city these days. There's a lot of things governing whether I go for a ride, and like I say, I would normally ride other bikes anyway. And my goal is to go up where it's nice. In the mountains, there's nice twisty roads, there's less people, and you can go ahead and do a journey. If I'm gonna go, these days, when I go out for a ride, I'm interested in doing a journey. I'm not just out to ride city streets. But that's what's happening today, because we're not going anywhere big. We are just getting the bike out. Know what I mean? Got to get the bike out. the bike is dusty. You have to wipe it down. I've just never operated in the disposable genre. I get something and I keep it going and I keep it up to snuff, and that's why I'm saying, in order to do so, you want to kind of take your bike apart and wipe everything down and fix everything up once every 10 years or so. Once every 10 years you go through and fix everything on your list and you know, refurbish stuff to keep it viable. You don't just let it go, which I have done. This bike has gotten into a piece of crap, you know, really thrashed and stuff twice in its lifetime, and then been fixed up again, like I say, with donor bikes. And so we're still going good, and you know, I enjoy it a little bit, but I enjoy my other bikes better. The 650 Yamaha. I did that after the new exhaust went on, and you know, it seemed to be pretty good. But like I say, since then the mufflers are no longer packed, and I think it kind of runs different. Another thing I'll tell you about these shorty mufflers is it's not necessarily something you want, for you lose low end torque. When you don't have the original long mufflers on there. And so in the whole muffler scenario, if I have to buy new mufflers, I'm certainly going to get longer ones. Maybe buy them from Mike's XS. Probably get the Commando mufflers. All those pops. I hate that. Yeah, I should check my rear brake shoes too, because I've never put on a new pair of brake shoes. I have like 3 sets of wheels for this, and so consequently I got 3 sets of the brake backing plate, and I've always just put on the best one. I've never put on brand new pads. I think I should buy pads for the front. I may already have some, but I'm pretty sure I don't have any brand new shoes. And I can't remember what it was, but there was something a little complicated about the adjustment available when I put it together with some of these parts from the 81 special. And I think I had to adjust the it had something to do with clearance on the brake arm or something to that effect, and so I think I have less adjustment on the brake rod back there. And anyway, I kind of have to push down on the brake pedal pretty far in order to get proper stopping. No, I don't have to push on it too far. But, you know, I'm going to go through and check stuff when I get around to it. Actually, I'm getting too old to be messing around with working on bikes. and then I just want to be free to ride. I gotta be free. Okay, so we're just got the bike out for a ride, but I'm in an area of an old friend's house that is a former 650 owner. He used to have a 650 back in the old days, and he moved on. And then when I had all these extra 650s, he says, oh, you know, I wouldn't mind having a 650. So I sold him a 650 that was completely disassembled, down to frame only. And we put it together with all the best parts. And we were going for rides together, and everything was great. I'm going to his house now. Everything was great. And then one of our rides, he went down and hurt himself pretty bad, so that was the end of the 650. He did put it back together and get it going again, but then he sold it. Too archaic of a bike for him is what it amounted to. You know, he needed a more modern bike that had better brakes and stability and all that, so he ended up getting a DRZ Supermoto. It's hard to tell if my camera's on or not. Got to get right up and look. But anyway, just had a nice visit with my friend. And gee, you know, I'm not going to take the time to go out of town or anything. I'm just on a ride, so we're coming into a hot part of the day. Hell, I'm going to head back. Just, you know, wanted to get the Yamaha 650 out for a while. You hear all those pops? I hate that. You can keep the pops to a minimum, but you have to ride a certain way. And that's not the way I ride. Yeah, that's another thing I could fix. My neutral light right now, well, there you can see it flickers. I gotta check. That could be just a ground, or the light bulb socket could be a little loose. The rider needs to stay on top of that stuff. Listen to all that popping. This stoplight is always like this. You always get stopped at this light. Okay, so the Yamaha's running pretty good, but there's certainly things I can do to it to bring it back to top notch. I don't consider it top notch. But right now, they feel sticky. So it's just another reason to go over everything and dial everything in and fix everything up. It's what I'm gonna have to do. So instead of using downshift engine power to help slow down, as opposed to just brakes only, that's when you really get all your popping. And that's what I mean by the way I ride. Having all this popping forces me to ride a little differently than I would want to. So here we'll come to a stop without having a bunch of popping, but it causes me to have to use more brake and less engine decompression. Anyway, we're getting close to the Too Many Rides garage, and we're just going to take the Yamaha back, and it's going to sit there for an extended period because I don't have a trip planned where I need it, and I would rather get on one of my other bikes, and it's too hot. It's going to be 104 degrees today. Okay, people. We're getting close. Once again, it all has to do with being able to ride free. You don't want restrictions. You don't want to throw a wrench in the schedule in any way. You want to get the riding enjoyment. Stop signs detract from the riding enjoyment. Here's another one. The Too Many Rides Garage. Okay, well, I'm glad you could come along on this 77D ride, because I hardly ever get the Yamaha out anymore. I've got other bikes that I like to ride better. I'd rather ride them. I'm keeping the Yamaha going. So that's what it's all about. Keeping her going. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. End of the ride. Now she's going to park for another month or more. It's too hot. Otherwise, I'd go out on a different bike. So we'll see you later. Talk to you later.